Welcome to Breaking the Chains. I am Bakita, and today I'm here with Yehoshua Williams. We are going to discuss beyond the year of return and what that has looked like. But first, I'll have you reintroduce yourself for those who haven't seen you here before. Tell us a little about yourself and what you have going on, and then we can just dive into this quite interesting conversation.
Yeah, for real. First of all, thank you for having me, and I'm always a pleasure because I know you're about the uplift and liberation and just the overall holistic healing and whatever you want to call it, positive energy of our people. Absolutely. Now and for the future. But yes, my birth name is Stephen. Everyone here knows me as Yehoshua. It's more or less that name defines my purpose. But I'm from Columbia, Maryland, or Baltimore, Maryland originally. Married to a phenomenal woman, Candace Williams. We've been in Ghana for 4 years. I got my citizenship in 2019 during the year of return. She was supposed to get hers, but some handicapped folk messed it up. And I don't mean that to disrespect truly handicapped folk. They messed that up and have not fixed it yet. But
Interesting.
Yeah, and so we're here, and we have an NGO, but we also co-founders of a development company here called African Century Development. We have some phenomenal partners. One brother, his name is Kwaku Fleming. Believe it or not, I went to middle school with him in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
We didn't connect. We didn't connect again until we got our citizenship. Saw each other. We're like, wait, man, what's up?
What?
Yeah, he's a architect developer and just an overall wonderful person. And we have a young brother who started the first men's health facility here, anti-aging, testosterone, all that stuff here in Ghana. First one in West Africa. Now he's doing one for women for hormonal treatment and dealing with all the things pertaining to women's health. So we are collaborating and bringing our resources together to not only help out with the development company, but to help him with his clinic, because it's important that we collaborate and not to be so individualistic. We all have tremendous skills that we bring from the West, even if you worked a job for all your life, but that's a skill that could be harnessed here to help us move forward. But that's what we're doing here. We're helping people acquire land, build houses, design their houses. It's a process. It requires a whole lot of patience and perseverance.
Exercise.
But we're going to see it through. We're going to get it done. We're going to see it through by any means necessary, legally.
Legally. Hold on 1 second. What?
Teacher.
I apologize.
No problem.
So 2019, Ghana made a big campaign for the year of return. Can you just give a little background, because everybody still doesn't know what that is. Can you give us a little background about what the year of return campaign was? What was this whole to do about?
Okay. Let me backtrack a little bit even before then.
Okay.
Several people, several individuals, several groups had different kinds of meetings with the Ghana Tourism Authority. And one brother that we all know, Diallo Sumbri, was the one that coined that phrase, I believe, the year of return. But it was suggested to different people within government that why aren't you guys really marketing to the African diaspora in America? You know, for example, You know, all during the year, especially during the cold months, hear that jingle, "Come back to Jamaica,"
Yeah.
Bahamas, Miami, even St. Lucia,
Yeah.
Barbados, all these things. And yet, what attracted me to Ghana was the fact that I love Jamaica. And when I came to Ghana, I looked at it as a bigger version of Jamaica, except we
Same for
drive on
me.
the opposite side. Same thing.
Same for
You know,
me.
goats running the roads, chickens in the roads. They drive like they're crazy, but they make it work.
Yeah.
And housing, architecture is pretty much the exact same.
Exact
And
same.
exactly. And I said, you know, we were suggesting them, why don't you market to Ghana? So it came up from the concept of what people got from the Bible of Abraham's seed was supposed to be sojourners in the land for 400 years, and then they were supposed to leave, okay?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And it was based on the premise of the first Africans that were brought up from the Caribbean to Jamestown, Virginia in 1619. We know that Africans were already here. A lot of people
Right.
try to, you know, major in minor stuff, but
Right.
we know that, but that's what the case was. So they were commemorating from like they had events called Jamestown to Jamestown, you know, Jamestown, Ghana, and
Yeah.
Jamestown in Virginia. And matter of fact, interestingly enough, that's where my mother's people were from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, originally before they migrated up to Baltimore. But nevertheless, it was a campaign to market primarily to American Africans and others to throughout the Americas. And that's another
Mhm.
issue that people don't realize, that the Caribbean is the Americas.
Is the Americas. Yeah.
And so that's when the president went to, I believe he spoke to the Congressional Black Caucus. He went to New York, went to Chicago to market the year of return. And it was supposed to be a big to-do, but it was primarily, in my opinion, and that's why I keep prefacing some things, in my opinion, marketing towards bolstering tourism and hotels and entertainment, which is not a problem because
Right.
many of your Caribbean islands, that's their industry. It's a primary industry, and it's
Right.
not a problem whatsoever. However, if you're targeting our people, how I feel, there should be an incentive for those here on the ground, because either here's the real deal. We could either say, hey, it's for real or it's bullshit.
Absolutely.
Either come and experience what they are saying or come and encounter the lie.
Right. Right.
That's the power that we have that we don't understand.
Right.
But nevertheless, it came through, and it was alleged that they estimated about $1.9 billion was raised. During that time, earlier that year, 2019 through 2018, we were battling with, getting some more people citizenship. Even when we moved here in 2017, we joined an organization to help bolster the citizenship process, which was an executive order that took place in 2016. 2016, yes.
Right.
And they were dragging their feet, doing a whole bunch of nonsense meetings. I had gotten on the radio one time and called it out and said, hey, we've been insulted. They look at us as we've heard terms like cash cows and
Mm-hmm.
we're overlooked and dismissed, which is true. I don't care what anybody says. And that's my
Yeah.
opinion. That's my feelings. And my feelings are valid. My
Right. Your
opinions are
feelings are
valid.
absolutely valid.
And you come from a nation that constantly disrespects us and dismisses us and overlooks us, marginalizes us. So I'm in a good space, just like many of us are in a good space to know what it feels like, know what it looks like, know what it tastes like, and know what the hell it feels like.
Right.
It's not something that we're going off on emotionalism. We know our value, at least most of us do.
Yeah.
And it was about 250 something people from various different organizations that submitted applications. And when it came down to it, only 126. Because what was done was a new application was done, and it was instructed that if the head of the family fill it out and put the spouse and the children on it. One
Mm-hmm.
particular day, the Wednesday, which Candace and I and several others happened to go get our interviews at the Jubilee House, people were left off their list.
Mm.
So if you notice that there's, in fixing an issue, let's say, for example, if you're running something and you have people that are supposed to be benefiting from your whatever you're doing and come to you as complainants, say, hey, listen, there's an issue here, and you notice something, several other people say there's an issue, I was bumped off, and you start to dig into it and find out that everybody was on a particular day, something should go off in your mind and say, oh, there was a glitch in the system, let's rectify this.
Right.
So it wasn't rectified properly. So we made complaints. So they started putting certain people back on, not people put on, off. We all got interviewed. We submitted police reports, all this stuff. And many of the spouses were not put through. I'm not talking about secondhand information I heard. I was at the Jubilee House working with a dear brother. And I'm not mentioning names because I didn't get permission to use their names, but a good brother that would come down every day from Mampong or Mamfi, come down with his own fuel, going down to the Jubilee House, making sure that things were put in place, and fought like tooth and nail to get us through. Unlike some of these other people that are head of organizations that were interested in more less grandstanding than helping to advocate for our people. This brother, not even a head of an organization, would come do it. And we mobile money him gas because we saw the advocacy work that he did. So on one particular day, because they were dragging their feet, and we went up to the north and told the Nairi up there in the Mapusi kingdom, and these powerful chiefs were going to come down to Accra and said they weren't going to leave until you take care of our people. That's how angry they were, because we were constantly dismissed. They see what we've been through historically. See, as my dear brother said the other day in a conversation with my brother that could not make it on the call today, he said he believes, and we agree with that some people benefit here. Some people here in positions of power, as well as some of our people benefit from the masses staying ignorant and apathetic.
Absolutely.
They benefit from that. I don't give a damn who they are. They benefit from people not knowing what's going on and not being energized and galvanized. Okay?
100%.
And so during that particular Thursday, we were like, hey, all y'all got to do, they said we signed off, the president signed off on this list. I said, but it was 250. And one old fogey went in there and said, hey, because we were going to say, listen, if all of us that rightfully applied and did what was requested of us did it, I'm not going to go through. None of us going to go through.
Right.
Because only 2 people on that list couldn't do it because of their criminal background record. They were disqualified, which would be with anybody in any country. Okay, cool. They got to fix that or just go back to where they came from.
Right.
Cool. So this guy, this old guy, that's really milking the people as we speak, said, hey, there's a bunch of people in the diaspora, the rebel rousers want to try to do some stuff. Put no suggestions out there. So what the hell are you talking about? And then one person within the system said, well, listen, some of these people are elders. They always do things together. You know what she said? Well, this might be one thing that they can't do together.
Oh.
When it was their fault. We said, listen, y'all dropped the ball. What's wrong with going to the president and say, hey, we had an oversight. We're bringing this oversight to you. Can you rectify this? We're talking about 2 years. They couldn't do it because they probably too damn scared. Oh. So as a result, over 2 years have gone by. We have not heard anything about rectifying the situation. And yet, people are like, y'all should be, and some of our own people, like, y'all should be grateful because y'all acting so ungrateful because of this. I wouldn't have given you nothing. Well, see, like I did a meme, we still trying a cure for cooning.
Yeah.
And buck dancing and step infection.
Yeah.
Because those are the types of people that will impede any kind of progress, because it's not about complaining for the sake of complaining. It's trying to rectify a wrong and hold people accountable to do what they said they were going to do.
Absolutely.
Period. We're not asking for nothing special. Y'all made an error, a grave error, a serious error. Fix it.
Fix it.
But then you want to go on and market to our people. Our people, we got American Africans in particular. I can't speak for some of the other people, but I know in the diaspora, I can generally speak, but I know about us.
Right.
Starting businesses, starting NGOs, taking care of pregnant mothers, clothing their children,
yes,
sending children to school,
absolutely,
employing hundreds of people,
absolutely,
building houses for people, providing skills, enhancing schools, building communities, building homes, putting tax dollars into the economy.
Yes.
Starting small businesses to big businesses that are here making an impact. We're not doing like the Chinese doing, coming here, raping the land, disrespecting the people, disrespecting the culture, and then taking the resources and the money, taking it back to China. We're here to stay.
Right.
We're not like a whole bunch of people from other nations that fly in and the next day they get their citizenship.
Right.
We know these things are happening. And again,
absolutely.
For tactical and strategic reasons, I'm not naming things specifically. We could do that off cuff, because one of the things we got to learn, we can't let our left hand know what our right hand is doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But at that being said, we want them to know that we're not blind, deaf, and dumb.
Yes, we do know.
We do know. Because just like with the year of return, when we were being disrespected at that time and called it out, all of a sudden now you want to get on the radio show and set the record straight.
Yeah.
After we called you out. But the fact of the matter is that it's just not their fault. I'm gonna be real with you. It's just not their fault. A lot of it belongs, and we need to own some of this.
Okay.
Let me tell you why.
I was just about to say, what are we doing or not doing?
You know what we like doing so too damn much? We love shaking our ass, partying, doing the Negro shit that we did back in the States that don't move us forward. We love ceremonial, superficial stuff. We love dressing in white, marching down the street, holding hands and singing with candles, putting wreaths on burial sites. But we don't know how to galvanize and aggregate.
Well, would you say we don't know how to do it, or we're just not doing it? Because clearly we come from people who know how to do it, and we've seen it done. We've seen it in practice.
We don't want to do it. We don't want to do it. Why?
Why? I was just about to say, why? Why do we not? Why do you think that we're going? Because for the most part, most people believe that those of us who are moving to Ghana or Africa, Ghana in particular, are conscious-minded, revolutionary-minded, Pan-African-minded people who are ready to do the work that was done here to get ourselves together. And I think when we get there, we find out something very different. So why do you think, or what do you think it is? Like, because I think people put on a good show. They look like they want to get stuff done, but I personally haven't seen much.
Point blank. I go back to my statement, we know how to shake our ass and have a party. We don't have, honestly speaking, we don't even deserve a party yet till we get some wins. We need some wins. We need to, now, if we're using those things to galvanize people with an agenda, that's one thing. But who benefits from this? We got organizations here that celebrate being here for years, doing what? Doing what? Doing what?
Come on, because you know how I feel about that already. Doing what?
What? Meeting every week? Because let me tell you something. Here, Ghanaians love meetings. They love panel discussions. They love talking and listening people talk for hours. And then we come here and do the same thing. We want to sit up and have panel discussions.
So
but when it,
with you saying that, just because that really drives me nuts. That is the reason why I had to pull away from stuff, because all that talk stuff, I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's make a plan. Let's activate the plan. You don't need to meet for a whole year to get started. We can work out the kinks on the way. And I feel like coming from here, many of us came from communities, like my community in South Florida was a very Pan-African community. We were taught how to organize. We were taught how to get stuff done. And I feel like we get to Ghana, and I don't know if those people who are in Ghana just really don't know how to organize. They don't know what it is how they're supposed to go about getting stuff done, or if they just are about the what's it called, the pony in the show. I mean, like, what the fuck?
Pomp and circumstance is one of the things I can't stand. You got a few factors here that need to be addressed and addressed effectively. When you go online, people are looking for Pan-African things, so they're moved by the names of certain organizations, and they come here and are drawn to those names, and they have phenomenal names. But when you get there, you like, what the hell? What is this? What's the? Oh, we don't get involved with politics. Or we don't get involved with activism. Okay. Then you have people that's in place that think in order to get something done, you got to go through them.
Absolutely.
And they ain't doing nothing.
And
I'm talking about some older women and older men.
Yeah.
They doing the same thing. They blocking. They blocking because listen, you'll get the work done. Bakita, you will be out there getting work done. And then all of a sudden at the last minute, they'll show up.
Been there, done that.
And people like that need to be moved out the way, and they need to be called out. But here's another component here. It was brought up this week to another brother that he was asked why, when the young people or the entertainers come, why aren't they investing in Ghana? And what he said was, boom, you just said it right there. They come and they see the same old senior citizens, and there's no disrespect to the senior citizens. Because we need them.
Absolutely, we need them.
They need to take on the model of what was portrayed in the movie The Black Panther, when you had T'Challa was a young leader, and surrounding him were the elders. Nobody's trying to move y'all to an old folk home. Transition to another position.
Right.
And what he told them was just, you said, he said, y'all old MFs hogging them up. Y'all just want them to go to the dungeons and cry and appease to their emotion and ask them how you felt about the dungeons, and then sit around and they sitting around with y'all. He said none of them get the chance to see none of the endeavors that their peers that know them are doing. They don't get to see our brother that's their age starting a medical clinic. They don't see brothers and sisters maybe a few years older than them building communities and bringing hundreds of African Americans here buying land. They don't see opportunities like that brothers in here want to build sports complexes and all these different things. They don't get a chance to see them because they see y'all.
Exactly.
you don't hear about nothing about them when it comes to speaking up to the people, the powers that be on our behalf. But as soon as a Steve Harvey, a T.I. or a Ludacris come here they come.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed that during the year of return, I was kind of taken aback. Like, okay, you have T.I. who is my age. Why is such and such escorting him alone? Like, why wouldn't it be you and somebody my age, or somebody around my age, somebody who knows who T.I. is, somebody who knows what T.I. may be looking for? Because, like, for me, I follow T.I. here. I'm here in Atlanta. He does an amazing job here in Atlanta. I know that he really was or is interested in doing stuff in other places. But if he's not encountering people who may be interested or may be his age and understand where he's coming from and, can speak his language, it may not be as appealing. And when you got a whole laundry list of people coming in just for a visit, it's important to you can't just sit here and have, T.I. ain't coming back for no meeting. You got to be able to engage him now, or Ludacris. They're not coming back for another meeting. You got to be able to engage now and get the understanding now that yes, there are plenty of us here, plenty of us in younger ages, because most of the time when you talk to people about repatriation, they think about older people retiring. Right. They don't understand that there's even a nice little wave of 20-year-olds who are moving into Ghana now. And people need to know this. But if the older people don't reach down and say, hey, come here, young people, y'all sit up here and help us to understand what it is y'all young people need, what it is, I just think it's just such a waste of resources.
Yep.
And I know personally so many people who have come to Ghana wanting to do wonderful work, but you got the gatekeepers that's been there for 20, 30 years that tend to block progress, or they feel like you got to come through them to get stuff done. But then you see some of us are resourceful enough that we won't deal with you at all.
Listen, that's where we are. We're not dealing with them.
And but that's sad because that's not what we
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because, matter of fact, you could be a gatekeeper to keep undesirables away. You could be a gatekeeper to protect us, to make sure that we don't walk into traps. To me, that's a gatekeeper, but not someone that's impeding progress because your stupid ass ego is threatened by new ideas. Matter of fact, you could be the ones that say, hey, listen, we've been here, we got to connect. Let me get here and set you up that you can go in here and go through the door. To me, that's legacy building.
Exactly. And being able to identify that this person has a skill that I don't have, but I have access that this person doesn't have. Instead of using that access as a blockade, use that access to help push things forward. And I don't see that happening.
Let me tell you something. Some of these people talk about how much power they got, whether they call themselves ambassadors or whatever.
Yeah.
If you got that kind of clout, that kind of connects, why haven't you made your call to the said so-called powers that be and say, fix these people that did not get their citizenship? Well, let me tell you something. There's those of us here on the ground that have tremendous visions to bring our people, that are attracting our people through word of mouth, have not done any marketing or anything yet. That are bringing our people together. And you can make a call and say, hey, listen, get this straight. Straighten this out for these people right here. And when I was talking about aggregating, see, one of the issues here, and I may have spoken about it before, one of the things that we can't seem to grasp is proximity, the power of proximity, even if it's temporarily.
Yeah.
Where you are you're in Miami?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, you're in Atlanta. Well, you've been to Miami, you've been probably
Yep.
LA or even in DC.
Yeah.
You go to Chinatown, wherever it is in the USA. How many Black people own businesses in Chinatown?
Not a one.
How many Black people live in Chinatown?
Not a one.
You go to Little Italy. How many Black people, Chinese people own businesses there?
Not one.
They live there, right?
Exactly.
And they live close proximity to where they do business.
Absolutely.
We come here, and there's a whole lot of us, and people are slowly beginning to change their mind because they're getting bit, they're getting got.
Exactly.
I don't want to be around my people. I ain't come here to be around my people.
I hear it all the time.
And listen, I don't care how much people want to believe this themselves. We are still unique.
Absolutely.
And there's no disrespect to anybody else. But if we don't respect the path, and I talked about this before, which we came, which makes us who we are.
Right.
Listen, then we're going to miss it. When I talk about proximity, when we come here, I want to live up there. I want to live over here. I want to live over here. I want to live over here. Then we get over here. Our children don't have nothing to do. They ain't got nobody to play with because all they know how to do is play soccer.
Yep. That's absolutely. I hear it all the time.
Our kids don't have nothing to do because we don't know what schools to send our kids to because it's nothing for them. So they bored. Our teenagers are bored.
They are.
Well, because you wanted to live all the way out there away from everybody. But we are in a position now. So some of us are creating opportunities by which we could all pull our resources together and live in close proximity to each other and build communities similar to what we're used to over there. And it doesn't mean it just means just for us, but it means an opportunity for us to show our value, show our worth, and show our imprint that could be for everybody else. Africans, that is.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you know, if we live here and it may take 15 years to get dirt roads because everybody's waiting on government where we can pull our resources and do roads. We can have playgrounds. Okay, we can't afford to build a school, but we could do a cooperative homeschooling type thing where we could have our own neighborhood center and have our own school. We had to do it historically.
That's what bothers me about it. Like, we've done this. Like, we know how to do this. We come from this. We come from creating communities, building communities. We built a whole damn country. Like, why is it so hard to?
Because we don't value who we are. We listen, we got folk coming here, they Hebrew Israelites, they Muslims, they Christians, they Kemet, Hotep, whatever. I don't say that disrespectfully. You got traditionalists, you got the spiritualists, whatever. You think our enemies give a damn about all that?
They don't give a damn about that.
We got to come together as Africans first.
Exactly.
We got a common enemy. We got common issues. We got common concerns. And then the brothers, because let me say something that's not going to make a lot of people happy. We got to fix this black man, black woman thing, and the black man got to take the lead. And stop being such a damn pussy and pansy wasted.
Absolutely.
Yes, we've been damaged. Yes, we've been hurt. But we've also taken that and hurt y'all. And I thank the Almighty for Candace really helping me to see these things and still evolving to see these things because we got generations of this. But a lot of that's what's going on in our community, even us in the from the diaspora here in Ghana, because us Black men, we ain't taking the lead on this.
I totally agree.
We coming over here. We got too many damn Black men coming here from the U.S. still acting like they in damn college. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I don't give a damn. Y'all get offended. Y'all get offended all they call me.
This is why I wanted you here. We need to have a real discussion about what we're facing right now, because at the end of the day, we are in a unique period of time where you got young, middle, and old age people moving at the same time, but we're not on the same page. And we got to get our shit together. And we got to get it together quickly, because we had this whole Ghana put on this whole big to-do about year of return this, I mean, from my understanding, they spent like $1 million in, or how many $1 million promoting this year of return, marketing towards us. And whether it was to get our money or whether it was to truly get us to come there is of no consequence. To me, the focus needs to be on, okay, it happened. We are on our way. Every day I see people moving. In all of these groups, every day I see somebody hopping on a plane and moving. People are moving without even visiting. You know what I'm saying? So we, the ones of us that are there, that have experience, that have understanding, why aren't we, like you said, in a space, like we ain't even got no way to welcome these people. Do we got an African-American welcome center yet?
Yeah, one old dude does it, but he charging people that he can't even guarantee over $3,000 to get citizenship. And got a little jackleg lawyer doing it.
I can't.
Charging $1,000 a head to get up residency permits. And we got our sister Tanya Bailey doing it for free and escorting people out of her time and her treasure, doing it for free.
Absolutely, she does.
And this brother, this old kook slandering her.
What?
Telling people don't go through her. Yeah. We all worked for him one time and helped support him. But I'm telling you, gee, that's the kind of backward shit that we don't need. But nevertheless, beyond the return is about bringing investment to Ghana. But here's my thing, and this is what I did with the men. You're going to want more of us to come here, but you ain't even doing right by those that are here already. And this is why I say we got to own some of this.
Absolutely.
Because if I don't care, listen, I come from I'm not in one, but I come from a whole family that's part of fraternities and sororities.
Right.
To each his own, respect.
Right.
But it ain't just about partying.
No, it's not. We got to get serious.
Use that to chop down the area that you're supposed to do. Listen, I don't care what you do, but we all got to have the same collective purpose.
Absolutely.
We got to have the same collective purpose. Just because I might not be part of your frat don't mean we can't participate, but I'm not just coming out to party all the damn time because there's too much work to do. We party, like I said, let's celebrate after we get some wins. We ain't got no wins yet. We ain't got no wins yet. And to me, I don't go into a battle not expecting to lose. And so we got spaces. And let me give you an example. We got access to land in the central region near the ocean. Mm-hmm. We even got 50 acres allotted to us that we can design and demarcate and set up the way we want to. It's been over 9 months working with this slow company. I'm not going to mention it at this point, but we got it and we can get more. You take people out there, you know what they say? Oh, that's far away. That's far away. Ain't nothing out here. When our ancestors left in plantations and started, what the hell do they think was in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
Atlanta was far away at one time.
Yeah. But see, I don't understand some of our thinking. Why invest in something that's already built and you're going to spend more money there instead of going somewhere where it's cheap, is rich, and you can get more for your money and do more for your money. And it's not about Candace and I and our team company getting all the play. Listen,
I know it's plenty to go around.
It's plenty. Listen, it's a family that we met. They got 250 acres not far away there. They're Ghanaian, but lived in Maryland for a while. And they want to work with us because they see the energy. But I only know what I know. I can't do everything. Candace can't do everything. Our brother Tyrone and Kwaku can't do everything. We need help. We can't do all this by ourselves. But here's another thing. YouTube is a great resource, but it could also be detrimental.
Absolutely.
It could also be detrimental because there's a lot of bona fide grade A idiots on their line.
Hence why I wanted to have this conversation, because the kind of shit that I'm seeing is driving me insane to the point where I've gotten to a place where people send me a link. Stop sending me that stuff because I know lying. That they just flat out lying. And I want to ask you a question, because me and my husband, we tend to I was telling him that I was going to be talking to you soon, and which led us into a deeper conversation. And he was asking me about, do we ever discuss how American Africans or Africans from America come to Ghana and, for lack of better words, but turn into scammers too.
100%.
And they use the naivete of the people who are here.
Oh my goodness.
And completely just utterly destroy people.
Let me tell you something. I have an utter hatred for that. To me
too.
Listen, this is how I feel about white folk. I expect white people to be racist until 100%. They prove me wrong.
100%.
I'm not shocked by injustice, any showing of white supremacy, white privilege. I expect that.
Absolutely.
Until they prove me wrong.
Absolutely.
But what I do not tolerate, nor does Candace, nor any of our team, we don't tolerate that from our people. We got people here that's running game on our own people.
On our own people.
They not only running game on Ghanaians, but they running game on our own people. And this is why I was talking about YouTube. Because you got people, and I'm saying this to all those that may be listening, that may be in America, contemplating coming here or making a decision to come here. You better damn sure listen to the right people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I know I can count dozens of people that paid this old man $1,000 for a residency permit. I know a family that paid this man $4,000 for a residency permit, which should have cost him 1,200 CDs to get his entire family done. But he said, no, this man don't mean no harm. He means us good. I said, bro, we thought that. So you start calling him out, then he gonna slander you like he does everybody else. I said, that 1,200 CDs, which is probably what, about $100-something. I said, $3,800 could have gone to pay y'all rent for the whole year.
Yeah.
Living in a comfortable place.
Yeah.
We could have paid off the land that you purchased.
Absolutely. You know,
I know a family, I know a brother that me and Tanya talked to that brought a group of people here. 15 of them that don't even live in Ghana, paid for a residency permit. How you get a residency permit? You don't live here. $1,000 each. See, that's the kind of scamming. And see, this is the problem I have with the scamming. Because first of all, you got some older folk in government or whatever, just like during Kwame Nkrumah's time, when he was putting African Americans or American Africans in positions, they were threatened by that. Because if I put these people here, they start making some things happen, that's going to diminish my effectiveness to line my pockets or do whatever. Okay?
Yeah.
And so you got, and people, there's already a stereotype about us, that we're nasty, we're aggressive, we drug dealers, we this, we that. Our women are promiscuous, our guys don't have no respect, are we lazy, we this or that, because they don't know. Here's something else that did bring to your attention. Several months ago, it was 5 of us. Tanya will verify because she was with us. We went to the Office of Diaspora Affairs and brought this up. We said, number one, you guys should have somebody from the diaspora, since your office takes care of the needs of the diaspora. Because how are you going to meet the needs of the diaspora and there's nobody from our community to help you understand and comprehend? Because 100%. We may come off aggressive, but we don't mean that. That's just who we are. 100%. That's our culture. So to be a buffer or to be a liaison, wouldn't it behoove you or benefit you to have somebody from our community so that you can understand? Just like if we wanted to go to the village, we couldn't go straight there because sometimes we could be saying something and we may totally not understand. So we went there and told him about some of the scamming that's going on that we do not condone, we abhor, and we condemn it. And we said, if your office doesn't address it, to us, it looks like you're complicit in it.
Absolutely.
And we brought up specifically about this old guy that's scamming people. But yet, they taking pictures at their events, speaking at their events. And we're like, wait a minute, when one, and this is the power that we don't understand. Even in the Bible that many people still adhere to, it says a little leaven leavens the whole lump. You put one rotten apple by a batch of apples, eventually the whole thing's going to be rotten.
Right.
And one person can mess it up and know what they will say? See, I told y'all about them American Africans. See, I told y'all not to bring them in.
You know, I want to ask you a question that's been really bugging me for about a year now. I need to understand, we have a couple hundred of us now have citizenship. I only personally know one person who works in the government that's not from here. I only know one. She did not go through, she just applied for a position and got a job, right? And she has been a really good resource being in the position that she's in. And she takes it very seriously. She does all she can do to help her people, which is the reason why she went into, she's a personal friend of mine. That's the reason why she went into the position. She went in with the mindset that I can use this to help my people and to help bridge this gap between us and Ghanaians. And I can get I can get some better understanding, and I can help my people understand better and all of these things. Why aren't more of us getting involved, taking positions? And just by me talking to her, I know for sure that there are positions that are open that they would be more than they would hire us for. Why aren't we taking positions and getting ourselves in proximity to make the changes that need to be made, or at least be able to have a voice in it?
A lot of us just don't know about these things. Let me tell you something that other ethnic groups do. They get in there and find opportunities and call their people up and say, hey, listen, get in here.
Exactly.
But we don't do that.
Well, see,
we don't do that enough. Let me correct that.
Exactly. And I also you know, there's a narrative that we shouldn't come to Ghana and find jobs. And I understand where people are coming from, but there are certain things that just being from here makes us an asset to our people there and our brothers and sisters, cousins, whatever we want to call them. Like, being in certain positions make us an asset.
You know what it is? It's being strategic.
Exactly.
We're not being strategic, nor are we being tactical. Because to me, and I know exactly who you talk about, she's a wonderful person, wonderful person. But what I'm fearful for her is that she's doing it, she's by herself. And there's got to be protection. It's got to be part of, I'll give you an example. When I came back from Ghana in 2003, I worked for a tech company. And the company was owned by Indian. The manager was Persian from Iran. And the company that we had a contract with was Care First. We worked at the headquarters in Owens Mills, Maryland. So the tech company, this company that was that we were working for, all of a sudden you started seeing more Habibs, more Patels. Then the whole tech department ended up being Patels. Because oftentimes what we do, we get in position and we're like this.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, because that's part of the strategic, because then you can know where the contracts are. Because listen, you think what everybody else does that, but we act like we so damn scared. Because if I'm involved with logistics and know what's going on, get a position in there. And it's not just, listen, get in there and say, listen, hey, y'all, shh. And we got to learn. And those on the other side that's not in yet got to know how to keep the damn mouth shut.
Absolutely.
And be like, listen, y'all, there's some contracts coming up. And I'm not talking about illegal stuff. We talking about family discussions.
Right.
Contracts coming up. This is what you need. You need to have this by this deadline.
Get yourself together.
So we're always ass out because we're not playing, we're playing Chinese checkers, everybody else playing chess.
Speaking of which, there was a situation a couple of months ago. I won't call names because I don't have permission, but I'm a part of an organization here, and the organization is working on a project in Africa, in West Africa, this in Nigeria and in Ghana. I said, hey, I know someone who could probably get us in a little deeper. Send me, I've already talked to her. I've already told her what we're trying to do. She said, send her this, and this.
They didn't do it.
I got 2 of the things that she asked us for. Mind you, these people were coming to America for a big meeting that they were having in DC. She explains to me, hey, we're going to be in DC soon. If you get me the information, I'll get it to who it needs to be, and I will get you all an interview with this person who if y'all doing what y'all supposed to do,
right?
We're looking for people to do this. We haven't found anybody, and there is money, there is funding. I didn't get the information.
Of course not. That's the stuff that pisses you off. And then those are the very same people that will run their mouths afterwards.
Exactly. So I politely just fell back and I said, okay. Because one of the people said, oh, well, I know such and such personally. We went to school together. Okay, well, you make the meeting happen then. Did the meeting happen? No.
Of course not.
Because the person that I know is your friend's assistant. Your friend is asking for these things because these grants are money that they have to have certain criteria that have to be met because you have to report on the money.
Right.
But you get our folks who, when you trying to give them the opportunities, they then turn around. They first of all, they'll act like there aren't any opportunities. Then when opportunities present themselves, they drag
their ass. They're not serious.
You're not serious.
But see, here's the flip side. And I understand you could have a heart of gold trying to help people. And I'm gonna tell you this, and I believe oftentimes when you do stuff for free for people, they don't value it or appreciate it.
You know,
I know I stepped on something. And I'm telling you this. When I used to do graphic design, the people who I used to give the biggest deals with, the biggest breaks with, were the biggest headaches. They were a thorn in my flesh.
Yep.
And the people I charged the market rate were not an issue at all.
No problem.
And it's the same thing. You have people. If you say that you're going to be a consultant, I can connect you here. I'm going to bring you here and share with you the opportunities. Here's my fee is $100. Anything after that is $75 an hour. People will pay it. They will follow the steps and do it. But when you do stuff for people, they will call you up, bug the hell out of you all hours of the night and not follow through and not listen to you. And this is something that irritates me. Somebody will call you up, say, listen, bro, I got an opportunity for you. You need to do this. You need to do that. And then they'll call you back 2 weeks later. And they say, man, I'm struggling. I said, well, did you take advantage of that opportunity? Oh, I forgot. Well, or here's another one.
Ooh.
They say, listen, I'm going through this situation. Well, this is the step that you need to do. They call you back 2 weeks later and say, hey, I'm still going through it. Did you do what I told you to do? No. Well, don't hang up. Don't call me. Don't call me until you do what I told you to do the first time. Don't waste my time. And so if you're in a position like Sister, for example, and you give you open the doors for opportunities for people and they squander, that makes you look bad then.
Exactly.
And then you end up losing your credibility because people are going to come to you and say, hey, what happened to your people?
Exactly.
This is why, and this is why the government should work with entities here on the ground from the diaspora. I'm not saying they don't because I just don't know. At least the regular people haven't been invited to the table. So some of the same old people that talk loud and do nothing get invited to the table. But What I am saying, there needs to be a serious vetting process, not by Ghana government. It needs to be done by us that are here, that we know our people. This one ain't serious. This one is serious. Right. There should be a basic criteria because, again, what about those of us that are on the ground that's already investing in opportunities, that are doing the best they can but have limited resources, that need to connect with those that are here? Because just like there are African Americans that are doing some scamming, there are Ghanaians that are doing the same thing. They see you come because they look at you as money or as cash cows, like many people in positions do. So we gotta be like the awesome part about our company, for example, we have Ghanaians and diasporans. We're collaborating.
It's important.
And we've done that legally with legal binding contracts.
Yeah.
It's just not this handshake thing. No. Because I found out, because it was a brother that was coming here. He got exposed by some chiefs running some big bank thing, big talk. And he didn't want to deal with any lawyers. I don't deal with lawyers. So anybody that's talking legal business and don't want to deal with lawyers, run from them.
Absolutely.
But we back to my point about you all that are coming here, you got to listen to some people. And Billy Preston had a song years ago, nothing for nothing leads to nothing.
Yep. Nothing.
When people are here,
nothing.
Thank you.
You
You
gotta
know
have
it.
something.
Something if you want to be with me.
Right.
Because my time is valuable too.
Absolutely.
You can't just use up all my time and then say thank you very much.
Right.
I'm not trying to sucker you or beat you, but at the same time, you will go out here and pay other people to help you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm not going to nickel and dime you, but running around town, hey, can you go find me a place? Can you go find, hey, bro, look, gas ain't cheap.
No,
And you can spend a whole day doing one thing here because of traffic.
One thing.
Respect my time, respect my qualifications, respect my advice. But if you come in here and you think you can get over on people because you got your little degree at Howard, because you think you're smarter than these people here, stay your ass back there.
Please stay away.
You got little Negroes here that's always talking about, and you've heard me say this before. You've heard me see me say it on posts. If your main objective is the bag, and stay the hell away from me, because what won't you do to get the bag?
What won't you do?
And who won't you do to get the bag?
Yeah. You
turning your own mother for the bag. It's got to be about the lifting up of the collective. And granted, some people got to be left behind. But if this beyond the return got to work, we have to first, us here on the ground, we have to galvanize our resources. This is why we're in the process, in spite of our for-profit company, an organization. And this is some more specific stuff will be talked off cuff.
Okay.
But where we need an umbrella entity that we can bring all of our organizations together. Because right now we got a Caribbean Association, an African American Association, the Rastafarian Association, all these different associations.
They created one of those, an umbrella association. So we still on that.
Listen, if I'm still using the same umbrella with holes in it, who getting protected from the rain?
Well, you got a damn point there.
It's got to have, we need new ideas, new strategies. As my brother Steve Coakley Jr. says, we need some new tunnels to get to the goal, because these other tunnels are caving in.
Yeah.
We need new strategies. We need new tools. We need new resources. And the resources are new people with new ideas that are aggressively tactical and strategic. Right. Another thing we cannot continue to do, we cannot keep grandstanding and want to telegraph every move.
Everything.
We need to have a press conference. We need to have a press conference to announce. That's about you, bro. That's about you, sis.
Yes.
Everybody don't need to know what we're doing.
Exactly.
You think when the Lebanese are building all these daggone palaces all over the place and ShopRites and Games and Melcoms, you think they're announcing what they're doing? They having little private meetings, passing out their hummus
and they strategic as hell.
Yep. When the Chinese are doing it, let's listen. Stop being mad at the Chinese. They taking advantage of stuff that we ain't. What we need to do is learn what they're doing and what works.
I ain't mad at them at all, because at the end of the day, them people doing what they supposed to do for their people.
Period. While we sitting up shaking our ass.
Yeah.
We shaking our ass, getting high, getting drunk, partying, screwing, dudes having screw fest, and the brothers mad at the sisters mad at the brothers. We can't get along. We bringing all this nasty ass attitudes from America here, carrying it on. All we just doing is gone from wearing Fendi to Ankara to batik, wrapping our head. We gone from the cross to the Ankh. We gone from praise the Lord to Ashe, but we still got the same screwed up mindsets, because until we clean this, we're going to do the same thing, because the fruit of a person's lives indicate who they are, not what they say out their mouth.
Right.
Because if the fruit of your life is not galvanizing us, is not aggregating us, not bringing together collective efforts, and you still talking individual stuff, you still blaming men, you still blaming women, and you're not saying, hey, listen, you are correct, sis.
And still blaming
Honey,
white
baby,
folks. Still blaming everybody.
white. Again, white people are doing what the hell they supposed to do. They've been doing this forever, everywhere on earth since the time they come here.
They are doing, they're being who they are. They're not hiding it. Like,
we are the creators. We are the inventors. When are we going to do that here? Listen, if we were in a community, let's say they do lockdown, and we got 500 acres all together, we could have a self-reliant community. Your family over there, y'all growing all the rooted vegetables. This family over here growing all the vine vegetables. This family over here herding goats. And this family over here doing chickens. This family over doing bulls. This family over here running a lagoon that's got all the fish in it. We trading amongst ourselves. What we need money for, we trading.
Let me tell you.
We can use damn monopoly money to trade, because at the end of the day, it's about goods and services being transferred.
Or some damn rocks. It don't matter.
They used beads at one time.
Yes, they
did.
See,
we got to think beyond capitalism. And then here's another thing. Democracy from the West don't work here.
Absolutely not. It does not.
We need discipline. Even us coming from America, and listen,
absolutely.
In order for us to have a thriving community where our resources are collective and aggregated, we need a code. You go back to watching movies like Bumpy Johnson and them. You didn't sell no drugs to no single mother and no little children. You had a code. And if you violate that code, you got dealt with.
So that's one of the things that kind of grinds my gears is I'm like, we have a code of conduct that we are supposed to adhere to. What happened to the code of conduct when we got to Ghana?
We selfish.
It just went out the window?
You know what? We act like that dog that's been in the cage all day. You let it out because you've been at work, and that dog run around in circles, knock over the table, knock over stuff, shitting and peeing, excited, wagging his tail knocking over stuff, the Kool-Aid spill all on the carpet. That's how we are. You know why? Because most of us want to be free, but we can't handle freedom because we ain't got no self-control. And it just didn't start when we got here. If we closely examine certain people's lives, that lack of discipline was exhibited over there. It just wasn't exposed. It was camouflage because we know how to fake the funk in front of people. But if you closely look at people's house, you go up in their house, I bet you their house is nasty. They may look good when they come out to the meetings.
Yeah.
They got the same peanut butter and jelly stain on the counter. Floor ain't been vacuumed in 2 weeks. Oh, because the belt broke. But you've been to Walmart 15, 20 times.
Right.
Come on. So I'm just telling you, they got poor work ethic. They probably got written up so many times for being late at work, taking extra long breaks, insubordination. So these things just don't start here. They are exasperated here.
Absolutely.
Because now you wide in the open. Because,
absolutely.
Again, I keep going back. If you're not coming here first to strip yourself down, look yourself in the mirror and deal with that ugliness within, it's going to come out.
And that's something that I tell people all the time. You just cannot move out of here into nowhere and not face yourself. You have to deal with the trauma. You gotta deal with the stuff that has made us feel incapable of doing things that we're very capable of doing. We have to heal. And I think one of the greatest parts of going to Ghana for me was that I was able to acknowledge, oh, wait a minute, I got some stuff I need to do. Like, cause
Yeah.
Wherever you go, you take yourself with you. And even still, like, I look at my relationship with my husband and I see it as it's been a catalyst for me to really have to turn inward and look at how I address some things. You made a post it was either you or Candace that made a post the other day.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was
About disagreements.
About disagreements and the toxic partner or the divine partner. And when I tell you that thing, I had to sit on that. That thing
That was real.
Oh my God. It really, I was like, it was like a light bulb went on. I was like, have I been a toxic partner?
Yeah.
Oh my God, maybe
if we're all honest with ourselves, we've been poisoned. And a poison is a toxin.
Absolutely.
So in one way or another, even if it's an overt attitude, the way we respond to each other, the lack of empathy, the lack of sympathy, the lack of patience.
Yeah.
We have patience with that white boy, the ignorant ass white boy on a job, than we do with each other, sometimes in our own homes.
Yes. I literally just had this conversation yesterday with a sister who owns a business that I'm actually looking to join her and help push her business a little further. I was saying how I worked for 11 years for some white folks, and I was able to go my butt to work no matter what was going on in my personal life. I was able to go to work, put on my smile, and do what they needed me to do. Why in the hell can't I do that for my own people? Why can't I? And I've made a concerted effort. Coming back here, I said I would not work for no white company. If it's not a Black company, I'm not doing it. And it's proven to be a little difficult. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not giving up on my people. So I'm not willing to give the resources of myself to anybody but my own people at this point. I have my own stuff going on, but if in the events that I need to, go and make some money, I need to do that with my own people. And why can't I use my skill sets to further somebody else's that look like me? I can further their business instead of going and sitting and making some white person richer.
Who could be investing in our demise?
Can you say that one more time for the people way back in the back?
Yeah, you may be making 6 figures at this white boy company, but where are they investing their profits? It could be in our very demise.
Exactly.
I think of that. Me and Candace talk about that. Every time I see a white person here, I'm like, why are they here?
Oh, you know why they're there.
Why are they here? Because they could tell you all the greatest intentions. First of all, white people ain't gonna tell you unless you get them drunk. That's when the truth serum come out.
Oh yeah.
But the fact is, people can say, hey, you racist. I don't give one damn. I don't trust white people at all.
I don't either.
And at this stage in my life, I don't need them in my space. I don't need them in my space. Right now, it's about Black and our survival and our existence. And in order for us to survive and thrive, we must unearth this ugliness that's in first. Because we just right now, let's be real, we just brown white people.
Woo!
We brown white people.
My husband say that all the time. He said many Black people are just white people with black skin. And
look, let's go another further. I had this discussion with a Ghanaian brother because he was saying, he said, It was on Facebook, and I had to set them straight. Because when we wrong, I'ma own it and acknowledge
Absolutely.
it. But I'm not gonna say you say something out of cuff when you don't understand.
Right.
Let me do a backtrack. Steve Coakley and I were in Oakland in 2019. We were doing Lyft, making some money. He picked up these Nigerians, and they were riding around the hood and talking about how destitute African Americans were, how we just sit around and complain and all this and all that. And he was quiet for a while. He said, let me say something to y'all. Let me share this with y'all. He said, look, y'all talk about how we are this and that and don't understand the dynamics of how we got here. Some of what you're saying may be valid, but you still don't understand how we got here. But exactly. You got your own country. You got your own culture. You got your own tradition. You got your own language. And you got oil in your own company. You don't even own no oil refineries. Foreigners own it. You grow chocolate in there. Y'all don't even own your own chocolate distribution. Our foreigners own it in your own damn country. So don't talk about what we doing and what we not doing. He said they had to shut up.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned it. I love this just real candid and just straight from the hip conversation. I've had a similar conversation with some Ghanaians, and you know, you listen, you kind of take it in, and it's like, okay, you might have some valid points, but you don't know the fullness of it. That's one. I said, but since we're talking about how Black folks ain't doing what Black folks ought to do, let's talk about how y'all got a whole country. You got all of these resources. We literally walked off of slave plantations with nothing.
Nothing.
And we still don't own nothing here, but we are actually considered a nation when it comes to money. We don't
more
have
than you.
Like, and we
more
don't
than
have
you.
No, right? So, and I'm like, you let these white folks come into your country. You grow the most cocoa, but white people
don't
run
own
that
shit.
industry.
Yep.
You got gold, you don't run shit. You got oil, you don't run shit. You don't run shit with shit. And that's not to say, I know that there are things that have been done colonially that have hindered the progress, but don't bring your ass over here talking about what we ain't did under this system that was built. This system was built to keep us from doing stuff. Every time we have done stuff, every time we have built communities, every time we have literally built communities that had planes and buses and trains and everything. And when we get to a certain place and they see that we spending our money in our community, what do? They
tear
come
it down
and take us completely out. We have whole cities that's underwater because we said, okay, we trying. They don't want to deal with us. They telling us we gotta shuck and jive for them. We ain't doing that no more. So we'll build our own thing. And they come and they shut it down. And it's been done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times in this country. But this is not, technically it's not ours. You, on the other hand, have whole countries. And you got a nerve to have something to say. Instead of running your mouth, learn about why.
Right.
And then you should be trying to be an asset to fixing the problem. If you can see a way to fix it, bring your ass in and let's get it done.
See what you just said there?
They have access to things when they get here that we don't. And
Exactly.
don't nobody ever want to talk about it.
Queen, I gotta tell you something. Remember I told you about the Ghanaian family that they lived 30 years in Maryland?
Uh-huh.
The wife, who's Ghanaian, said something that I've never heard someone born on the continent say in my life. Candace would tell you the same thing. She said when she came to the US, I believe she went to Howard. She got a scholarship, graduated. She said, I think she went to grad school, started a business. She said, I wouldn't have been able to do anything if it weren't for y'all.
My husband says it all the time.
She said, it was y'all sacrifices that opened up the door for me to be able to come off the plane and do these things. It was y'all fighting and marching and getting shot and killed to this day that afforded us the opportunity. It was y'all that spoke up, that made us look in the mirror and say, maybe we should start speaking up.
Because where did Kwame
and she said, and y'all don't get credit. Yeah.
Where did
and she said, y'all don't get no credit.
School?
Come on.
Kwame Nkrumah came here and went to school with us, and then went and back and freed his country.
Where did Marcus Garvey come from and go to and hung out with? What he said, she said, y'all don't get no credit for it. Because people look at y'all, what y'all not doing and not understanding. Listen, you know why all in that, you know this, but my Ghanaian brothers and sisters and all my other West African friends that want to point the finger at us and don't understand why we're so angry and so bitter or whatever. You know why most of the inventions were done in America in the last century, last 2 centuries? They were made out of necessity to help make things easy for us, because a lot of things were invented because we didn't have the opportunity to go through the door. So we had to figure out a way around it.
Exactly.
So inventions were made and taken from us because we didn't have enough money to file it to get patents. So the white people took them and stole them. So the fact of the matter is, like you said, you got resources here. You sitting up here riding on bumpy ass roads, waiting for government to do when all y'all could put send CDs together every month and fix the damn roads. Then you don't have to worry about your cars riding around looking like Inspector Gadget with a damn smoke thing choking people out every damn day.
Exactly.
But you sitting around here waiting, lining up at the American embassy to come to America to be a slave when y'all here free and don't even realize it. Oh, Ghana's hard. No, you just lazy and trifling, don't want to use your mind because you waiting for a white man to crack the sky on a white horse to come save your ass when you could be saving yourself.
And that begging shit. Oh, my brother.
You see my response?
Oh, my sister. My nigga, like, excuse me.
No. I don't deal with that begging stuff.
I am so that begging, and you know, culturally for us, that is just such a stop begging them. Stop begging them.
People we don't even know come knock on our gate, come begging, talking about, oh brother, I can't eat. Well, what? Look here. You see that pawpaw on this tree right here? That's food.
Come on. And you know,
you're teaching the babies to beg.
Teaching them to beg. And it's a mentality. Why they talk about our slave mentality? What about your colonial mentality? Your colonial mentality of begging, of having your hands out for everything. You want somebody to give you. Then let's just keep it real. You have people, our people in Ghana, our people come to Ghana. How often do you hear people talk about how hard it is to find good workers?
Right. All the damn time. I was just about to say that.
The work ethic is completely different.
Totally.
How many times have I walked into people's store and a motherfucker laying there asleep?
Like this, legs cocked up. If it was my business, you fired on the spot.
On the spot. So.
And I dare your family to come up there begging for your job back.
It's so frustrating because there's this mentality, oh, you should bring jobs here. This is why I got so frustrated with this whole year of return, beyond the return thing. It's like, you guys are baiting us in to come and do something
that you should be doing.
You ain't doing it, one. And two, you're making it hard for us to do it.
Yep.
How is it that you want me to come, I'm over here, I have to come back and forth, not because I haven't had money, but because when I get over there, y'all take every fucking dime I got. And
yeah.
So I end up having to say, okay, I got to go back and regroup because I don't get no pension. I'm a young entrepreneur. I don't get no disability. I don't get no Social Security. So I have to stop what I'm doing and go find some money, because instead of just recently, I'm working with a brother on a project right now. You go into the market. The first couple of times he goes into the market to buy these, and I'm talking about buying stuff in bulk.
Right.
You charge us, let's say 100 CDs. Then we find out later that it's actually supposed to be 70 CDs.
See?
Why would you do stuff like that we the ones that you want to
look,
give jobs. You want us to bring all of this money. You want us to bring all of these jobs. You want us to do all of this, but you're going to take every fucking thing I got?
Let me tell you something right there. If that ain't a white mind, no, don't apologize. If that's not the attributes of a white mind, what is?
Nothing.
That's why I leaned up here. That is white thinking. That they want to take advantage. Look, we talk about this all the time. And a Ghanaian brother told my brother that has a facility here. He said, if you want to preserve your business, you're going to have to hire some of your own people to manage. Give you a quick example. You go in Palace. I used to get so irritated when I first came here. I'm like, damn, they treat these people like shit. Everybody in management is Lebanese.
Absolutely.
Because you know why? My brother Tyrone was telling me that it was a brother here. He invested, I think, $3 million in his business. And it was a chicken farm or something. He went back to the UK. He said he had to file bankruptcy because they were stealing his chicken, stealing his eggs, and all kinds of stuff. Another thing is the lying. The lying. The lying. And yet you praising the Lord, speaking in tongues, but you lie. You say you're going to be here today. 9 o'clock, you don't show up, don't call. No intentions on coming here today. No intentions on calling. And you lie, and then you want to beg for money.
I literally asked my husband yesterday, I asked him, is lying a part of the culture?
I was told yes, it
cultural? Because the way and the amount of lying, it's just beyond my understanding. Like, why? And I'm not saying that other people don't lie. I'm saying that the lying is
part of every day.
It's to an extent that it's just like, is everything you say a lie? Like,
you know what I was told? We were told that if you say, hey, bro, can you come over and fix my toilet tomorrow? Yes. I'll say yes, knowing I mean no, because no worries.
You were saying that if you call somebody, you say, can you come and fix my toilet? They say, yes, I can come and fix
with no
your
intentions on coming.
With no intentions of coming.
And they say they don't want to disappoint you by telling you no. I'm like, don't you realize, idiot, that I took my day off because I know it takes long for y'all to get places. And then I wasted a whole day waiting for you. I'm more disappointed at that. And then they be looking at you like this. the dumbfounded look. I said, how would you feel if I went like this and came around and just smacked the shit out of you?
Right.
Because I'm irritated, that irritated. And because the lion, they don't realize how much that angers you. I'd rather you say, look, I can't make it today. I can't make it to Friday. I might not like that. I'd rather, even if you had intentions on coming and you can't make it, what's wrong with picking up the phone, sending a text, an SMS, and say, listen, something came up. Unfortunately, I cannot make it. What is wrong with that?
And what's wrong with saying, I don't know how to do something?
But always say I could do it. Or what's wrong with saying, I don't understand what you said?
What's wrong with that?
Can you slow down and speak slowly for me? But the smile. You remember Eddie Murphy in Coming to America when he was mopping, he was just going, yes. Don't give me the Hakeem.
Don't
tell me you don't understand.
Give me the Hakeem.
Don't Hakeem me.
I promise you, I've had so many experiences where I've literally wanted to snatch somebody's spine out because you wasted my time and my money when you could have simply said, I don't know. It's even down to simple shit like giving directions. I don't know. You gotta find somebody else. Put that shit in GPS or something. But I don't know. And so I just, my friend or partner in Ghana right now was looking for some neem oil. Asked the person in the neighborhood where the neem oil was. They actually told him to go to a shop. The shop didn't even exist.
You riding all the way across town.
On the road. The shop up there on the road. So this person is out there in that hot ass sun, walking up and down Cape Coast Road, looking for this shop. Where's the shop? Asking people, I'm looking for a shop that sells neem oil. I'm looking for a shop that sells neem oil. Nobody knows what the hell you talking about. There's no shop.
They didn't even know you could press oil. Speaking of that, let me tell you something else. This is why if they stop trying to look at us and bilking us for pesos and see the bigger picture.
Pesos, for real.
Like, for example, up in Tema, there's neem trees all over the place. They look at those things as being in the way. I look at them and see an industry.
Me too.
Powder, oil, all kinds of stuff, medical byproducts. And I talked to my mechanic, who happens to be one of the few people. We found a plumber, an electrician, and a mechanic that operate with the utmost integrity.
How long did it take you to find them?
I can't even
4
count.
4 years?
Yep, literally. But I was talking to them. I said, all these neem trees around here, I said, y'all know that's thousands of dollars every month? Because neem doesn't grow in America. What, really? I said, y'all know it's for medicine and the moringa. I said, it could be pressed for oil. I said, do you know they pay big money for neem oil in America?
Exactly.
I said, the same way y'all got these rice bags and all this stuff could be shipped all over the world. I said, now, that's the fusion of us seeing that could take nothing to work with y'all. Y'all know these things. Y'all know all these bitter leaves and all this stuff. And we have exposure to enterprises and businesses. If you stop looking at us as from a begging, we can remove the whole begging. See, we talking about years beyond the return.
Yeah, we are.
This because this goes right with it.
Yeah.
If the government, the powers that be, would move past these symposiums and panel discussions with people not from us talking about what they want to do with us, and allow us to sit down with y'all and say, listen, y'all got natural resources. They taking the gold out, but check this out. We can live without gold. We can live without oil. We can live without diamonds, but we can't live without food.
Exactly.
And agribusiness would make millionaires in this country. Absolutely. And put more people to work than any other industry, because from that Absolutely. Are the byproducts made with agribusiness.
Absolutely.
Because check this out, Bakita, this is why we need visionaries. The education system has to change. I saw a report on Joy News by somebody in Parliament said so many of our students are graduating that don't have any skills. Well, whose fault is that? Because y'all lack vision. Y'all copying the Western educational paradigm where most of the kids graduating college, they got degrees that don't count for nothing. I said, what you should do, if you're a visionary leader, you should be able to look at where we are now and chart out the future and say, look, the future we see is agribusiness. We got up north, we got shea, we got cashew. Down south, we got the Dodowa area, we got mangoes growing everywhere. And in Tema, we got neem everywhere. What can we do with this? So you bring in consultants from our community that know how to make something from nothing and say, okay, we could create industry from these things. We could have manufacturing plants all over the place. But check this out, we just don't need, we need farmers, but let's make sure the farmers are properly compensated, which will cut back on stealing. Let's create ownership. Let's empower these people. So if we create an industry, we have shares in the industry. So employees will have, this is when, if they're really serious about this beyond the return, sit down with us that have new minds, not these people that's blocking. Because it's those of us that's in the background that's got vision.
Yeah.
The education, so I come from a family of educators, okay? The pipeline is this, if we see this is what the industry is, so we start going to the schools and the Ministry of Education, we need to change the curriculum to fit within the vision.
To prepare for that, exactly.
Exactly. So it doesn't mean that everybody's going to be a farmer because we talk about agribusiness. Because guess what? We need engineers, we need inventors, we need all these things.
And with agribusiness, it's so many layers to it. You need people in marketing, you need people in all kinds of like the digital. Like we need so many things that could come just from agribusiness. You got agri-tech.
Tell you about it.
You got it's just too much that, and then we need socially conscious agriculture. We need to be thinking about sustainability and sovereignty. And it just feels like there's such a lack of forethought, a lack of willingness to prepare. You know, I tell people often that especially when we get into that conversation about what the things we don't do here and the things they don't do there and all of that stuff. Yeah, we all got some accountability that we need to attack. But one thing I will say about my own people is there were times, even during slavery, under the most brutal slavery that has ever been known to man, that we have said, you know what? We want this, that, and I remember the stories about men wanting to be able to have their wives and children on the same plantation with them. We want to be able to be married. You're not gonna do that, allow that? Okay, we got something for y'all. We'll burn all this shit down. Ain't nobody gonna eat this time. This harvest ain't nobody gonna eat. Because you have to have enough balls, enough testicular fortitude to say, I'm willing to not eat today so that my kids can eat tomorrow. And I don't see that happening neither in the diaspora nor in the continental communities. And it has become a thing where how are you going to be upset with other people for you not having the foresight to do what you need to do for your own?
How you gonna be upset with people taking advantage of opportunities? You ain't got the balls to take care of yourself. Candace always talks about this all the time. Black men complain about the Black sisters don't support us. The Black sisters ain't for us. Well, she always says that Black women in particular are drawn to power.
Absolutely.
So when we step up as men and start taking the lead and being bold about it, we should be the Black man should be the most vocal one, and right beside him is the Black woman. But we can't let our sisters go out there and sound the alarm.
We always right there with you.
We can't let y'all be out there in front, because y'all supposed to be right beside us. And this is why I said that we have to get our act together. Because I said this the other day, there's too many people scared. They scared because they want to lose position, which when it's all said and done, they ain't really got no position.
Right.
They ain't got nothing to say.
Brother, I swear, I want to ask you this, because I'm sure this is a topic we can go on for a while. What do you, as far as the year of return, we know that that garnered a lot of money into the Ghanaian system. Many people will argue that it didn't go directly to whomever, whatever. Like, okay, it was estimated $1.9 billion made from that time period, that 2019, especially that last portion of the year. I saw a post where it was being discussed, what did we get in return? How did it benefit us on the ground? Where do we go from here? Because beyond the year of return is about investing in Ghana, right? So is that an investment that is only to benefit Ghanaians? Or is this an investment that is to benefit us as a whole? You invited us to come back. We're coming back. So are these investments for us too? Are there grants or any funding that's being directed towards us? Are there any I guess, are there any is there any programming or what is there? Like, if I want to is there a contracts? Are there contracts that's directed towards us? Hey, we got these contracts. Why don't you all come in and do the contracts and hire the Ghanaians to do it? Are we seeing any kind of forward movement? Because 10 years will be gone in no time.
Look here. I'm gonna put it like this. No. And I'm gonna tell you why. I said no. We're involved with business. We don't hear about these things because what the problem is, in my opinion, and like I said, if I'm wrong, don't get angry. Just show it otherwise, because we don't see it. We ain't hearing none of this. The problem is that they're going after home runs, meaning that they're making these appeals to these guys that have these Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies. But they don't understand, to make a country move, it's the small, medium businesses.
Absolutely.
It's the small, medium nonprofits. Then you're going to get, it's more of those in place than there are the big ones.
Yeah.
Because those small, medium ones can grow to these big ones.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather have a small, medium one that could be homegrown into a big one? And guess what they're going to say? Listen, I had a small, medium-sized business in America. I came to Ghana and grew to this.
Exactly.
That makes you look good.
It makes you look good.
The people that's running things don't have the foresight. And this is where we would come in together. If you really want to make this work, maybe it may be a bunch of American Africans working with them, but maybe they some of the wrong ones.
Right.
Because it should be some of us saying, listen, those that have their boots on the ground and say, listen, you got a bunch of medium and small businesses here, just need some exposure, need some resources. Because check this out. The same way we could tell everybody in America, hey, y'all, this beyond a year return, just like the year return is bullshit. Don't even buy into it. We could do that.
We could.
But at the same time, if it's real and we know that we being taken care of, we're going to shout it from the rooftops. Because one thing Black folk in America do, when we go someplace and that macaroni and cheese and sweet potatoes and fried chicken is good, we telling everybody.
We telling everybody.
We tell even our frenemies, hey, look, y'all.
Okay.
Go stop at Boosie's Chicken Shack. I'm telling you, it's on.
And we, you know, there's a place here. It used to be a place here called JJ's Rib Shack. Had the best ribs ever. And people would literally wait for hours just to get a plate of ribs from this. I'm talking about hours. For this. Black-owned business. They didn't, the service wasn't always that great, but them doggone ribs was amazing.
I bet.
And there was the line would be down the street. There was another a lady who made these burgers. I think she passed away a couple of years ago, but she had the draw-in was that she actually was a really mean old lady, but that thing could cook. And she'll cut your behind out if you come in there and you don't know what you want. Honey, I ain't got time for this. But baby, I want this hamburger. So you go in there and you sit down and you ask for what you want and you get your tail on out of there. But I knew about the place because, like you said, Black folks, if it's good, we gonna scream it to the rooftop. Yeah. And when it came to that whole year return, all you saw all over social media was us screaming about how amazing it was. The young people, you had young people like Reverend Run's son, Diggy.
Exactly.
He all got his kente on. He's standing there all proud. That made the younger people, because all of the kids looking at him and they like, oh, I want to see what this all about.
Absolutely.
That's what we do.
But see, on another side, it was those that the super conscious folk. See, they just came here to party. You missing it. They touched the soil. They got exposed to something. So if that got them here, use it as, when we were standing in line, Candace and I were standing in line at Afrochella to get in, we talked to so many young people because they were in awe. We were like, where y'all from? We're from here, we're from there. Say, where y'all from? And then we tell them we live here. All of a sudden the conversation shifts. Y'all live here? What's it like?
Yeah.
Because they said, we never met somebody from America that lives and moved to Africa.
Right.
But again, listen, those that may be in authority, those that may have positions in Ghana, this conversation is not to punch you in the face.
No.
It's to let you know that, listen, we want this, a win for Ghana is a win for all of us.
For all of us.
Because we might have left here or were taken from here, but we were still one people. We coming back home to invest and to live, because we tried to build there in a place that's not ours, but we look at this place as our home. Even those that come back temporarily, this is their home.
Absolutely.
But we want to be treated right. We want to be respected. We tired of being disrespected and dismissed and overlooked and marginalized. We're tired of being looked at as sacred cows. We bring in skills. We're bringing experiences.
Yes.
We want to work with you. We don't want to, we could joke about the inadequacies that we have on both sides, how dumb we both are on many instances.
Absolutely.
We all got to get better. We all
of
got
us.
to sharpen up our skills and our tools up here. This is the main tool we need to sharpen up. But we got to be honest and know that we need work.
We got to be honest. You know, there's a group of brothers that I know that are a little older than me. And these are serious, serious brothers. They have invested so much money into Ghana and been done so dirty. They left Ghana and went to Guinea. This is how I met the brothers in Guinea while I was doing my work there. And they were encountering some of the same problems there. So after years of being in Guinea, now they've decided, okay, we coming back to Ghana, but we ain't coming the same way we came last time. And I hated to, it was painful on my ears to hear. Because they was like, okay, now we know how y'all operate. Now we know how y'all want to handle us. We came here with this idea in our head that we're gonna work with our people and we're gonna build together. And now they like, okay. And these are some brothers who, you know, a lot of our street brothers are very business savvy, very sharp. And so these are some street brothers. Some of these brothers have spent some time up the road, and they're like, okay, that's how y'all want to do it. This how we gonna do it. And they just underground working, doing this thing. And I'm like, okay, they're like, we will work with some Ghanaians, but all of that trying to kumbaya and all that shit with y'all, we ain't doing it no more. And it's so hurtful to me because when you know people had such a pureness and a want and their intentions were so great, and now they on some, okay, that's how y'all want to do it. We can show y'all how we do it. And I'm like, what I don't want to happen in Ghana is I don't want, because there's so many of us coming, I don't want them to end up having to see the ugly side of what it can be. And we don't want to end up seeing the ugly side of what they can be. I don't want this to turn into a Liberia type situation with us. That's the thing that is, and seeing so many people get burnt, not only by Ghanaians, but by us from here. Mm-hmm. And, you know, some people have a stubborn determination. It's like, oh, so that's how you want to do it? Let me show you.
Right.
And they don't mean, let me show you like how Ghanaians, let me show you, I'm going to go to the voodoo man and do all of this. I'm going to show you by letting, when my opportunity meets luck, as it has in many cases, I'm going to show you what we can really do. We didn't, and over here in this country, we've had so many things stacked against us. We know how to work around obstacles.
Yeah, we do.
And I just hope that some Ghanaians listening will understand that the majority of us coming there are coming with this idea in our head that we can unite with our brothers and sisters in Africa, and we should be able to work together, and we should be able to build. We're living in a global society now. We can't keep on this penny ante. I just need a few CDs here, a few CDs there. We're trying to build some big shit. And if you won't do it with us, you should pay attention to what we've been able to do here. And I don't want it to turn into a thing where now it's like, oh, they done came here and they trying to take over. Because we're not trying to do that. We're not trying to come and take over. We're coming to try to work together. And that's what we need to keep working towards. So in closing, tell me, what you got going on, what it is you recommend, and how it is that we can move beyond the year of return.
Okay. We have to, number one, which we're working on, we have to galvanize, meaning that y'all can reach out to me, but we got to do this, like you said, the brothers are doing, we got to do this underground until we get some momentum.
Yep.
Then we come. So we got, as my brother Steve Copley Jr. says, we got to build some tunnels.
Yeah.
Okay. In that, we need a skills bank. So if you come in, what do you do?
Absolutely.
What kind of skills and experiences that you have? If you come in here and you're afraid, I ain't giving them niggas my number, what I do, my information, then this ain't for you.
Right.
Because you could be the missing link to somebody else's enterprise.
Exactly.
When that white man asks you for your resume and your background and your background check, you didn't hesitate to give it up to him. Exactly. We're not here to compete with you, but we're here to know what you got so we can bring. So that we need that. And we also need to be in a centralized location.
Yeah.
That's expensive. It doesn't mean you don't have to have property over here, property over there, but I'm talking about to be able to garner our resources in a centralized location. Number one is safety.
Right.
Number two is smart economically. Number three, the part that we don't value or don't see the value in it as much, we need it socially.
Absolutely.
Because I can't stand that I always seem like I'm gonna have to dumb down my conversation just to get somebody to comprehend. Because I remember, growing up, you would hit a certain age, your parents would say, use your big kid words. And I know you as a parent, you can't use your little kid words no more. So from a social standpoint, economic standpoint, and also from a psychological standpoint and spiritual standpoint, because we begin to start shedding off things and realize that love will connect us. And then I will start having respect, because then we'll have some paradigms of Black men and Black women. Our children need to see it's just not mommy and daddy showing love towards each other. The little children could be outside. Imagine we have a community and we don't have to have these great big 10 feet walls around each house, where we could have lawns, where children could be outside playing and they could see Mr. and Mrs. Owusu holding hands walking down the street, Black love, and our children could see that modeled in front of each other. It's just not mommy and daddy, a rare thing. They don't have to see the housewives of Potomac. They're the ones they mad at women and the men mad at the women, but they see it modeled in front of them. So that's the social, psychological component that they need to see. But then we're also together where we're sitting out and having our cookouts, where the brothers and sisters getting together and say, listen, I got this enterprise. We're in a centralized location, and we can now put our efforts together and support this brother. This brother needs some HR, a qualified HR person. Oh, right. Coming. She's the HR vice president of this company. She's coming. Oh, she can come right there and fill that gap in. So those are the things that we need to do underground. And next thing you know it, another component with that, lastly, is you got this small enterprise, that small enterprise, that small enterprise. Next thing you know, we got 100 enterprises together.
Exactly.
Brother. And then we could be able to say, okay, we can go to the so-called powers that be or whomever, the Diaspora Affairs Office, and say, listen, we don't represent these different organizations, but we have this one that we've aggregated our businesses. This enterprise does not control anybody. We have a law firm, we have an accounting firm that looks out for everybody to make sure everyone's in compliance, paying their taxes. Right. We bring in about $700 million a year. We're paying about 2.5 million in taxes. We hired 7,000 Ghanaians. We got them to work. They would listen.
Exactly.
This is the importance of being in an area where we're together.
Absolutely.
The importance of that. Because it's hard to do that you in Tema, you in Takoradi, you in Kumasi, you in Abode, you in Cape Coast, you in Accra. It's hard to do that.
It is.
We would only see each other at festivals and parties, New Year's.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's just a solution. That's my solution as part of the antidote to our collective demise.
Absolutely. I think you're right on point. I totally agree. And I love the fact that you said this is your solution and a solution. And see, I think our people also need to start doing a little more critical thinking, listening, maybe reading comprehension, because your solution can be implemented. My solution can be implemented with it. Somebody else's solution can be implemented with those to create a larger solution for a huge problem that we got to solve.
Exactly.
You know? So at the end of the day, we have to work together. And there's a few things I want to talk with you after we finish this conversation. We just need to be working together and doing things, because at the end of the day, I should be able to be here and be able to get some shit done over there.
Absolutely.
And there's no reason why we can't make some shit happen. And there's no reason why we aren't making some shit happen. We need to hold each other accountable. We need to hold ourselves accountable. We need to be okay with being wrong. Be okay with being wrong. I don't know everything. You don't know everything. We have to remember that life is about growing, learning, and growing. And as long as you are here on this earth, you ought to be able to learn and grow. My mother is 72 years old, and I heard her telling my girls one day, I didn't know that. You just taught me something. My 8-year-old talking to my 72-year-old mother. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I said that to say, we have to be, the older people got to be willing to listen.
Thank you.
And hear us younger people. And me as a 41-year-old, I got to be able to hear what the 20-year-old is talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The 70-year-old got to be able to hear what I'm talking about. And we all need to be able to get together and come up with the solution. And I just appreciate you so much for one, taking the time today to talk to me candidly about some of the issues that we're dealing with. Granted, we haven't covered them all, but we've covered a lot. And again, I think you gave us a good idea of what we're looking at in Ghana. And before I let you go, I just really want to know, why do you think people from here tend to not be completely honest about the challenges that we are encountering in Ghana? And why aren't we being completely honest about the what's and the whys about living in Ghana and trying to build in Ghana and doing what we're trying to do there? Why?
Excellent question. I think it's because most of us that have made the move to repatriate, or whatever they want to call it, probably had some people thinking that they were crazy. You'll be back. You'll be this. That's just short term. It's just a phase they're going through. They just following the crowd. It's a fad. And so they see some challenges they may face. They didn't want to talk about those things because they're afraid of what they may hear. We got to get to the where we got to be like that racehorse that had, I forget what they call those blinders.
The blinders.
Where you got to have your eyes fixed. And check this out. Gravitate towards those that are going to celebrate you.
Absolutely.
Not those that are barely even tolerating you. And sometimes that means you might have to be quiet around family and so-called friends. You can't share, they can't handle it right now.
You already know.
I found out something the other day from my auntie on Thanksgiving. They called me and they said, "What you doing?" And mind you, I had been talking to them about land for the last 3 years. And then when they found out that we were really moving forward and things are happening, I come to find out, she said, "You know, your grandfather was really into land for the family." My middle name is Wilson. There's a whole area in Baltimore City called Wilson Park. It was named after my family.
Oh.
And they used to buy, my grandfather and his brother, my great uncle, they used to buy out properties and because they wanted it as a legacy for my family. But the next generation squandered it. And she said, "You inherited that same passion." And they don't understand, though, the shortcomings. And I think we that are here are doing a disservice not telling people the real deal. And I'm not talking about making it an effort of bitching and complaining, but stop selling the fantasy and sell the reality. Because if you're equipped with the realities, because like what we tell all of our clients, if you don't acquire patience and you're not willing to adjust, you're not going to make it here. Adjust and to adapt. You're not going to make it because this is not America.
No,
if you come here with an entitlement mindset, you're not going to make it. No. So the thing is, people that don't share, I think they're still controlled by the opinions of other people.
Okay.
More so because we owe them to tell them the truth.
I totally agree.
Because like my brother from Atlanta here, he said he thought he controlled his cussing, but driving here, he said he invented new cuss words. Because, and you know what my response was? If they included a mandatory intelligence test to drive operate a motor vehicle, you would have no traffic.
It's true. It's true. But it is absolutely true.
And I said there were some Ghanaians, they bust out laughing. They said it's true.
It's true.
But all jokes aside, family that's here, tell people the truth. Stop selling the fantasy. It's some beautiful stuff, but you got to tell them the truth, the whole truth.
Got to tell them the whole truth.
You're going to be tested. Ghana will test every part of your existence.
Yeah. Yeah. It will it's akin to America in that sense. It will chew you up.
Yep.
And Ghana will swallow you if you're not prepared. And I believe that preparing people for pitfalls, for the reality is important. Having candid conversations like this is important. And I look forward to us doing more of this. I appreciate it. I look forward to talking with Steve. I thank you for coming and taking this time with me. And for those who are watching, if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe. We'll put Yahoshua's contact information in the description. Tell us one more time, how can we contact you if they want to get some consulting. What do we need to do? How do we get in contact with you?
You can WhatsApp me at +233 55 812 4215. That's +233 812. I'm sorry, +233 55 812 4215, or email me at S as in Sam Williams with an S at AfricanCenturyDevelopment.com. That's S Williams at AfricanCenturyDevelopment.com. And we are here, we're not here to create no frictional enemies, but sometimes we need that to wake us up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're here for our people 100%, and we believe in Africans first above all else.
Africa first. You ask my children, I say, who are you first? They say, I'm African first.
Thank you.
First. You are, I let them know you are African and American, but you African first.
First.
So thank you. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate this conversation. It's something that I've been wanting to do for quite a long time. And it's hard to get people to really just be honest. And you, my brother, have done such a justice to our people just by sitting here and taking the time to have this conversation.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it, and we're going to do this again soon.
How to do that?